tips, advice, and better ways to train. B3 Better presents The Amateur's Edge with Jerrian Sanders, Randy Wade, and A.D. Roberts.
And good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to The Amateur's Edge. This is going to be a great day. I got the fellas in the house, man. Jay is here.
Great to be back off after a 2-week hiatus.
We missed you, man, because I had to be in here with these guys, Cleo held it down. Randy, that's a different
How the surgery,
story.
brother?
We know.
How did what go?
The surgery.
What surgery?
He was having breath surgery. That's what we said last week.
Rob.
Can we get the womp? Right.
Come on, we got to be better prepared, man. You know that was coming.
This is my bad. He can't. Randy
I just want to
can't.
keep your fans updated.
Randy cannot help with the corny jokes. I
just want to keep the fans updated. I don't want them speculating like they do Jamie Foxx.
You know what? That's okay. And with that, we're gonna move on. Thank you. We have a great show lined up today because we got a provocative conversation.
Very provocative.
Very, very provocative. And the question is professional sports modern day slavery? Because no, it was serious talk. This is a conversation that was sparked. I know there was a viral video.
Yep. There was a video that went viral,
and it did. And we're gonna have Rob's gonna play a little piece of it. So it'll kick off the show to kick off this conversation about whether professional sports is modern day slavery.
Yes.
The moral issue that needs to be addressed today. When in 1946. When the NFL was forced to reintegrate, because from 1933 to 1945, the all-white NFL didn't want any blacks in the industry. They said the black players were slowing down its growth. And then Fritz Pollard developed the Negro Football League. And after World War II, there was a big push for the Negro League to compete with the all-white NFL. So what they did was they took the good players from the Negro League and integrated them into the all-white NFL. And now, since 1946, the black players have taken it to $1 billion plus market, yet we have no owner within the industry. We are the record breakers and the trendsetters, yet we have no voice within the industry. NFL owners are guaranteed profits annually without even a fan going into the stadium, yet players have no guaranteed contracts. This is plantation capitalism going on right now.
Oh, okay. So what do you say, fellas? What do you say?
I mean, that's a very provocative statement on his part. I think when you first take a look at the word and look at the definition of the word slavery, right? Mm-hmm. From Merriam-Webster, a person who is forced to work for and obey another person, and also considered to be property. So when you ask the question, is professional sports modern day slavery, the key word here is forced. Are these guys being forced to play sports? Another
key word, free. These guys are free. They're free to do what they want to do. They don't have to play basketball or dribble the ball. They choose to.
Definitely. And again, we wanted just to start the show off with this, just to, spark some thought in people's head. And we definitely encouraging callers to call in today because we want to get people's opinions about this topic. Again, this was stemming from, a video that went viral. And to the common man, we're sitting here like, heck no. I don't even think that these guys, what are these guys thinking? However, if you talk to a athlete that's in college or you talk to a professional athlete and they talk about the rigors of having to get up early in the morning, staying late, and how their bodies are beaten down, from all the contact and all that, they might differ in their thought.
Don't forget 904-641-1010. 904-641-1010 to call in.
So we definitely, again, we wanted to, get started with that so we can get, spark some interest and get some callers to talk a little bit more about that subject. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in the next segment. We're transitioning on. We wanted to talk about an event that we're going to be having next week at B3 Better. It's going to be with a group called Who We Play For. We're actually doing heart screenings. Upon the aftermath of the Damar Hamlin situation.
Right, and we actually had a whole segment. We had a show on this about 3-4 weeks ago.
Yeah. So, and the thing is, sudden cardiac arrest is very prevalent and way more prevalent than people know. You know, the people from who we play for actually approached us a while ago, way before the DeMar Hamlin situation, about screening athletes and, you know, how and you know, basically educating us on how prevalent it is and how it needs to be at the forefront. Now, since the DeMar Hamlin situation, it's been, you know, it's at the forefront of sports.
It's a real deal.
It's a real deal, and people need to know about it, and every athlete needs to be screened, not just, you know, doing your regular physical, but every athlete needs to do this screening. So next week at B3 Better, we're going to be hosting cardiac screenings from 11:30 to 1:30. If you have a young athlete, and if you haven't done this, I strongly encourage you to do this for your young athlete. I can't tell you how important this is, how many lives it'll save. It's a big thing. So, you know, again, it's going to be next Saturday at B3 Better from 11:30 to 1:30. If you have a young athlete, it's going to be very important to bring them out.
I definitely want to say, too, I don't mean to cut it off, and I think that's a great thing. Not to make light of that or anything like that, but I feel like I have a heart problem, too. You know what I'm saying? People say I fall in love easy. You know what I'm saying? They say,
Rob,
see, give it to him. Give it to him.
Well, I'm just saying. Do y'all have a line for that? Do y'all have a line for that? No?
Man, come on, bro. Like,
don't
are
really
you
care about
What you about to say, AD?
No, but it's really important, and you know, so much so that when we did the show and Chris was on, our resident, you know, physical therapy guy, and he's one of his organizations, one of the sponsors for the event, and it's really vital that we have our children checked out, because a lot of times, you know, an athlete can be, you know, for his whole amateur career, go with things unnoticed, undetected. And we've had that experience, you know, privately. You know, we've had some athletes that we've trained and worked out with that had some maladies that we didn't know anything about. And so I believe in it so much that my 13-year-old, I've already registered, and he's going to be there next week. And so if you have a young athlete, you definitely don't want to miss the opportunity, because the registration fee is like only $25. And you for $25 to know if your child is at risk for having any kind of heart condition that would have him, you know, have a cardiac arrest or anything like that, it's definitely something that you want to take advantage of.
And you said something very important. So you spend all this time and all this money on our kids and sports, and all we do is get those regular school physicals where, like, they get the hammer and hit you in the knee, where you check yes or no on some different things. Parents really have to look into really getting a true physical, because that is a shame that people do have ailments that could hurt them that they don't even know about. And they just get a regular physical.
Yep, that's it.
Good deal, good deal. Transitioning on into the sports world, Messi had his first game last night, and he did not disappoint, scoring the game-winning goal. Did you guys get a chance to check that out yesterday?
No, I didn't, bro.
Yeah. So it is very much anticipated. You know, Messi's known as one of the greatest to ever play soccer, and I think, you know, him coming over to the MLS is going to definitely elevate Major League Soccer over here in America. You know, soccer has been... It's been a global phenomenon, or one of the, you know, most recognized sports across the world, and we've been a little bit behind in soccer ourselves here. So I think, you know, bringing on a guy like that and bringing him here to Miami to, you know, elevate the league and bring a little bit more awareness is gonna, you know, take that thing to the next level. So
yeah, he making like between 50 to 60 million annually.
Yeah, Messi, he's definitely he's that guy.
He's that guy, huh?
For sure. Definitely. So that was huge. Then just taking a look. So, guess it's time to pay some bills. This segment was brought to you by Premier Physical Therapy. Your wellness journey begins at Premier Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation, the gold standard in orthopedic and sports rehab for adults and adolescents alike. Dial 904-996-6922 or visit Premier PT Jackson, that's PremierPTJAX.com today for the Premier experience. You are listening to The Amateur's Edge on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Florida State, Clemson, and Miami. All right. It's the ACC kickoff in Charlotte, so you can get to know your favorite coaches and players. Brought to you by the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234 and Performance Painting on 1010XL.
First Coast Cargo is one of the region's leading asset-based logistics and transportation providers. First Coast Cargo has the area's largest fleet, provides final mile services in Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia for Fortune 500 companies such as Amazon, Walmart, and Lowe's, as well as specialized or white glove services for FedEx, UPS, and other national logistics companies. First Coast Cargo, headquartered in Jacksonville, Florida, with its extensive experience and dedication to exceeding customer expectations, provides transportation, warehousing, logistics, and 3PL services to customers nationwide. Manufacturers, distributors, and purchasing agents know they can depend and rely on First Coast Cargo to be at their side 24/7, 365 days a year. Visit First Coast Cargo at firstcoastcargo.com or call with your transportation or logistics needs at 328-5700.
I want my Woody's barbecue.
Have you ever noticed that some words that were once nouns are now verbs? Like Google? Instead of going to Google, you just Google it. Well, I did that the other day with Woody's Barbecue. Instead of going to Woody's for barbecue, I told the wife that tonight we're going to Woody it. She looked at me kind of funny at first, and then she smiled and said, "Let's eat."
At Woody's barbecue, it's what we do.
Let's eat. Talk about your team from your team's perspective.
It's the secret of genius.
Mike, Tony, and E.T. host Daily Jags Insiders from the JOI Studios.
Yeah, well, I believe he's got everybody's attention.
10 to noon weekdays on 1010XL.
For all your plumbing needs, call on the Bold City's best.
The water heater's broken, disposal doesn't work. Toilet's overflowing, the wife's going berserk. There's water all around me, the faucet sprung a leak. The only way to fix it is to call on Roland Reach, 'cause I got the blues, yeah.
Roland Reach Plumbing. Lose the bad plumbing blues and find your peace with Roland Reach.
Yeah.
Whether it's a large commercial project or a multi-family property, trust All Pro Roofing for exceptional craftsmanship and unparalleled customer service. We use only the finest materials, ensuring durability and long-lasting results. Plus, All Pro Roofing now has a full siding and windows division. That's right, All Pro Roofing is not just about roofs anymore. All Pro Roofing, now your trusted partner for commercial roofing, multi-family projects, exterior siding, and windows. AllProRoofingLLC.com.
License number CCC 1327056.
CDC 060138.
When it comes to commercial fence services, Superior Fence and Rail has you covered. If your business needs automatic gates or security fence and railings, trust Superior with your next commercial project. Superior's team delivers great communication, high-quality products, and exceptional customer service. Just read any of their 2,300-plus reviews.
When you're on the fence about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Hey, Matt Hayes here. Expert Automotive is now open at our brand new state-of-the-art facility on St. John's Bluff Road. As always, every repair comes with a lifetime service repair warranty. Come celebrate our grand reopening by getting a free AC inspection, $50 off any repair, $199 brake specials, and free diagnostics all month long. Call 374-3373 or visit us at our new location at 2190 St. John's Bluff Road. Expert Automotive. We never sell greed, only what you need.
Your wellness journey begins at Premier Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation, the gold standard in orthopedic and sports rehab for adults and adolescents alike. Dial 904-996-6922 or visit PremierPTJax.com today. Experience the Premier difference and take your first step towards a healthier, stronger you. Premier Physical Therapy, where Jacksonville comes to heal. PremierPTJax.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's the Amateur's Edge, brought to you by B3 Better on 1010XL.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, you are listening to the Amateur's Edge, and this morning we are talking about, it's a crazy topic. It's a conversation that had sparked because of a video that had gone viral on Instagram, on social media, where a gentleman said that, the short and skinny version is that is professional sports modern day slavery. And he proposed that it is. And there's some people out there that believe that these athletes are the modern day slave and they don't have much choice in the matter. But let's kind of crunch that out. And remember, guys, the lines are open, so give us a call because we want to hear what you think about this at 904-641-1010. That's 904-641-1010. In fact, I think we got a caller on the line. Caller, are you there?
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
Oh, hey, Dave. How's it going, man?
Good, man. Yeah, a very good subject, one that needs to be talked about in this type of manner. Okay, this needs to be talked about instead of just pushing things under the rug.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Just a couple of things historically. Millions of white people were enslaved in North Africa and Eastern Asia decades and millennials ago by the Ottoman Empire. There was an African king that had over 10,000 black slaves that he sold. Okay, now let's get that out of the way. But this thing of saying that sports are modern-day slavery, I mean, it's almost turned into a cottage industry to take these types of stands, to make money off of it or get notarized somehow or another for it. I mean, how can you possibly go be a roofer? Okay, your bodies get beat. Your bodies get beat up. Oh no, God! I'm sorry, you got a sprained ankle. Oh, you poor baby, you. Go be a roofer, or I mean, in today's society, it seems like if you're a white person and you're having a conversation with a black person and you disagree with them on a subject, well, you're a bigot. And that's not true. That's just not the facts. And this narrative is keep on being pushed that's the truth, when in reality it's not. I'm a Republican and have been since 1976. By the way, Dr. King was a Republican, okay? I don't know if you knew that. A lot of people don't realize that. And I go by his words. I judge. If I'm going to judge somebody, I'm going to judge them on the conduct of their character. If you're pink, I don't care. If you act like a pucker hole, I'm going to treat you like one. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. That makes sense.
That makes sense.
I mean, this is just nonsense. What's going on in this country today?
Well, let's pull this on again because here's the thing, Dave. I don't think it's not necessarily this is a black or white thing that they're talking about for the most part. I think the biggest part is the dollar signs.
The dollar signs, but that actual statement that guy did make was a black and white issue.
So I'm gonna say this right here. To me,
thanks for calling in, Dave. Man, we appreciate it.
No. Hold on a second. I want you to respond to this, Dave. So to me, an athlete saying that sports is modern day slavery is just as trash as the educational system saying that slavery benefited black folks. To me, both of those things are ridiculous. Because that's what they saying in Florida. Have you seen that?
Are you talking about the education, the black history in the Florida schools?
Yeah, they saying that the education benefited black folks.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't know how that.
Both of those things are ridiculous.
They're ridiculous, but I don't know how that falls in line with us talking about sports.
I know, because what I'm saying is they say.
Well, I will say this as far as sports goes. I mean, our own owner, Shad Khan, is an immigrant that came here with nothing. He had to live at the YMCA whenever he was at the University of Illinois. So he came here with nothing, and he did it on his own. He didn't do it through the government. He did it on his own. I mean, Shad Khan may be the epitome of the American dream of sports owners in this country. Bob Kraft got handed Kraft foods in his lap as a child. Okay. And it's just, I totally just find it, I scratch my head about it, about claiming this is slavery. I mean, what does the lowest paid NFL player make? Like $500,000 or so a year?
Like 800.
You know, $800,000 a year. You know, how can this? It's just a play on trying to stir up something that's it's just crazy, just absolute crazy. And it's our country is right nowadays. It just seems like people need to take a deep breath and not attack somebody and call them names just because they disagree with you on a certain stuff. They just happen to disagree with you.
All right, thank you, Dave. Man, we appreciate it, man. We got to go to
you bet, man. Have a great weekend.
You too.
Thanks, Dave.
Right.
Good deal. So that was a very strong opinion.
Well, yeah.
And it touched me. It touched me in a different way. That's why I brought it up.
And that's perfectly fine. You know, and this is a conversation that, you know, we're talking sports here, but, you know, as you said, Jerrian, the guy on the post that went viral, you know, there was the, you know, the context was black or white.
It was, and I think that if you do, you know, bring it to that level, I think, you know, for me, it comes back to an accountability thing. If we are gonna say, you know, we feel like we're being enslaved, if we are gonna say this is a modern day thing, I think we got to take a look at ourselves and say, and look at the resources that we do have at our disposal, right? Mm-hmm. If you put LeBron James, James Harden, and let's say Jaylen Brown, who's about to sign a $350 million contract, you talking about close to $2 billion sitting in front of your face.
With just a handful
with just three guys. So if we really feel that way, then how do you take back some of that power? You do it economically, right? Mm-hmm. And do you start your own leagues? You know what control do you have within to uplift your community if we really feel like that's the issue?
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, I can't. You know, I'm just gonna flat out say no. It's not slavery. You do have a choice. You live a luxurious life. Yeah, you got to get up early in the morning and, you know, put in work just like the common man does. Mm-hmm. It's a short-lived experience as well. Like if you become a professional athlete, very few people play 20 years like LeBron James and Tom Brady and those guys or what have you. But you do have a privileged life and you do have a choice. So at that point, I can't agree with the fact that that's slavery, and I can't sit here and say that this is an oppressive type situation for African American people because we have the resources.
I agree, but I will say that I think he messed the whole statement up by us saying that, you know, sports is like slavery. A lot of the stuff he said beforehand was kind of true about the way you had the Negro League and you had the NFL and stuff like that, and how everything got better once they let other people join that wasn't just white or whatever. That's true. And
why you say that?
Because
I guess he's from a historical context.
Historical context was on point.
Yeah. From the historical context, when you're talking about mainstream sports that did at one point in time didn't have
African American
people in it. It wasn't as exciting. It wasn't as exciting. And then here's the other thing too: numbers. If you go back and you look at the numbers of attendance for the Negro Leagues, and people are what happens when you do add that first African American player to a team? With Hank Aaron, every black person in America was rooting for Hank Aaron and that team. Period. Definitely. So whatever team Hank Aaron was on, guess what? Those dollars were going to follow. That fanship was going to follow. So I mean, it's definitely a provocative conversation at best. Yeah,
and then when you look at the discrepancy in the benefits as well. Well, actually, I don't even want to get into that right now. I want to look at I actually want to talk a little bit more about like the NBA players now have way more control than any other players. I think outside of baseball, probably because baseball guys they stay united. Football, they have a hard time when it comes to collective bargaining agreement. I feel like they get screwed the most. But that's basically based on their inability to be able to hold out
and come together. Because people live above their means. A lot of people live paycheck to paycheck in football. And people don't think that's true. That's very true.
Yeah, I remember when was the last? It was like 2008 was when they really held out. And they didn't hold out that long. I mean, you had guys like Antonio Cromartie saying, we got to get back to work. We can't hold out.
Yeah.
And like you said, like these guys, like you got to be, if you want more power and more say, you got to have the ability to be able to hold out when it comes to that collective bargaining time. And, you know, I remember baseball, they held out for a whole season. The NBA, they held out for like a whole half a season to put themselves in better positions to negotiate at the table. And those owners know, you know, that those guys on the NFL side, that they're, for some reason, they're incapable of being able to hold out, versus those guys on the basketball and baseball side, they do hold out. And then you look at it like baseball players, if you're in the major leagues for 43 days, you get benefits the rest of your life.
That's crazy.
Versus
the NFL, where you got to play 4 years to be vested.
4 years, and the average NFL player only plays 3 years.
Oh, that's phenomenal how that number actually.
And not only that, it's a higher risk sport.
Yeah, you're gonna get injured.
You're gonna get injured.
Right.
It's not if; it's just a matter of when. And hopefully, you can sustain that to bounce back and get another contract and have a good career. But again, like a lot of this stuff comes back to choices and being more accountable.
Yeah.
If you are in a position to be able to hold out, or and if again, like I mean, what was the guy's name? Dave made a great point. Like the minimum wage in the NFL is $800,000. If you get in the NFL OGs or the older guys, if they tell these guys, look, hold on to your money. It's almost collective bargaining time. Hold on to your money. You're going to need to live off this money maybe for a whole season. $800,000.
If you can't live off of
no, fellas, we got to keep it back to these kids are not getting $800. If that's your
break it down.
First of all, that's a veteran.
No. Minimum wage in the NFL is $800,000.
Okay, for a veteran.
No, for a rookie. Look it up.
For a rookie, it's $500,000.
No, it's not. You can look it up.
All right, but anyway, let's say it is $800,000, right? Mm-hmm. Like that's not what the player's getting now. Let's just keep that.
Okay, break that down. Then.
So you talk about taxes, so that's 40%.
Yeah, taxes
right?
40%.
You pay your agent 3%.
Yeah, that's more like $400,000, maybe $300,000.
You can't live off $400,000 over 2 years.
Okay.
Wow.
You can, but
that's $200,000 a year.
The top 10% money earners in this country earn about a little over, just a shy over $100,000. That's the top 10% money earners in the country.
Okay.
So
now you're talking about. I'm not making no excuses, but you're talking about.
That's what it sounds like.
No. You're talking about a young gentleman that has to make sure he boots certain people out of his life and put the right people in.
That's an accountability thing.
But that takes time. That takes time to get to.
I agree.
Yeah, come on now. You're talking about 22 years old.
$750,000
for a rookie.
Yep, the minimum salary.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, exactly. Huh? So again, using Jay's word, accountability is key.
It's key, man.
And then you got to have some financial literacy a part of it. And and that's one of the things that that B3 does is bring on people to come talk to athletes about and say, hey, you got to be financially responsible because
how many people are financially responsible at 22, 24?
Okay,
I'm just asking how many people.
But I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. This is because forget that excuse. To whom much is given, much is required. And too many times we give people too many outs and too many excuses just because of age. I understand your point, but when you have a lot, you are responsible for a lot. And so you have to begin to make more decisions that are better. I understand coming out of impoverished situations, so there's a mindset that's there, and you have to shift that mindset. But at the same token, this is not a new story when it comes to, NFL athletes or any professional athletes doing extremely well and then being broke after a short period of time.
Okay, I'm looking up right now and I don't have.
Hold on.
All right, so we're gonna pay some bills real quick. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, this segment was brought to you by Premier Physical Therapy. Your wellness journey begins at Premier Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation, the gold standard in orthopedic and sports rehab for adults and adolescents alike. Dial today 904-996-6922 or visit PremierPTJax.com today for the Premier experience. You're listening to The Amateur's Edge on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Grilling up lunch with Leon and the Sausage Dudes. Sausage with a purpose.
Join me, Leon Searcy, on XL Primetime, weekdays for Lunch with Leon.
On 1010XL.
I downblock with all my funk.
This Open Championship update on 1010XL is brought to you by Mr. Sparky of the First Coast and MyBookie.
Why live with foot or ankle pain? If you have persistent pain, numbness, tingling, burning pain on the bottom of your foot, or swelling that doesn't improve with home treatment, it may be time to see Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute. Our foot and ankle specialists have innovative new options to help you get back in the swing of things without persistent pain that slows you down. Call JOI 2000 or go to joionline.net for an appointment.
Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the 151st British Open, sponsored by Prevagen. Lighter winds, rain holding off for the most part, favorable conditions in the third round, but Scotty Scheffler is left kicking himself. The top-ranked player in the world settles for 1 over 72. He's +4 on the week. That's double-digit shots off the pace. So Captain Obvious had to ask Scheffler if he still has a chance to win.
Unless a hurricane happens this afternoon. A hurricane and then some, I think, is what it's going to take for me. So, no, I'm just going to go out tomorrow and then do my best and just try and move my way up the leaderboard and have a good day.
Well, Scheffler needed a day like John Rahm. 8 under 63 for Rahm. He surges to -6. Brian Harman is still the leader at 9 under. He is opened with a bogey and 2 pars. Tommy Fleetwood birdies the second. He is 6 under with Rahm. That's 3 back. Rory McIlroy is 4 under, 6 off the lead. I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
Steve is a real Prevagen user and paid testimonialist.
Hi, I'm Steve, and I live in Austin, Texas. I work as a personal assistant to the owner of a large manufacturing firm. I've got anywhere from 10 to 50 projects going at any given time. I absolutely have to be sharp. 5 years ago is when I started to notice I started making mistakes. My memory was not nearly as sharp as it had been. I was confiding in my friend about the problems I was having with my memory, and she said, Stephen, you've got to try Prevagen. After a period of time of taking Prevagen, my memory was getting better, and I started to feel a much better sense of well-being. If you're experiencing what I was experiencing, try it. I really believe that it's going to have tremendous effects for you, just like it did for me.
Prevagen. Healthier brain. Better life. Prevagen is available in stores everywhere. Based on a clinical study of subgroups of individuals who were cognitively normal or mildly impaired, this product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The IRS has just received $80 billion in funding to hire additional agents for aggressive collections enforcement. If you owe the IRS, now is the time to take action before the IRS comes after you or your business. There's no time to waste. Call J. David Tax Law, a firm right here in Jacksonville, for a no-cost consultation at 904-507-4777. That's 904-507-4777. Or visit jdavidtaxlaw.com. Peace of mind is only a click or phone call away.
Does your home or building need painting? For over 20 years, Performance Painting has had the privilege of preserving many of Jacksonville's most prominent buildings. That said, we feel like we're just getting started. I'm Jason Parker, and our team thrives on preparing, protecting, and preserving the homes, businesses, and public buildings that make up our local landscape. Contact us today to put our years of experience to work for you. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
Start your Sunday off with a cup of Joe and some sports medicine intel. This is Joe C. inviting you to join me and Dr. George Bari for Breaking Bones every Sunday morning at 7:30. And if you miss an episode, just look for Breaking Bones wherever you listen to podcasts.
3D Digital has you covered for any of your business's digital marketing needs. From producing award-winning videos to getting those digital ads to follow your customers around the internet, our team has your back. Visit 3ddigital.com or give us a call at 904-712-4004 to schedule a free consultation today. 904-712-4004.
Hey, Hickett here. Look, you've been hearing me talk about Zero Res for a while now, but there's 3 things they tell you that I agree with about their company. Best process, best people, and have a promise to do the best cleaning possible every time. And they offer a great deal every month. Well, guess what? July is National Carpet Cleaning Month. For home carpet cleaning, they're offering $49 per room. And for businesses, 20% off in July. Zero Res, man. Spell it forwards or backwards. Zero Res. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
Get ready to swing into Flavortown at Fourscore Golf Tavern and tee off your taste buds on our brand new
mouth-watering menu items. Our talented mixologists have created an array of cocktails that will make you feel like you're celebrating a victory on the 18th green. So swing by Fourscore Golf Tavern today and take your taste buds on a golf-inspired culinary journey. We're located in the San Marcos Square. Visit our website at fourscoregolftavern.com for our full menu and special events. Oh, and don't forget to tag us with your favorite picks. Fourscore Golf Tavern.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's the Amateur's Edge, brought to you by B3 Better on 1010XL.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We are having a good discussion today. It's a hot one, and even hot right here in the studio. Even after we went to commercial break, we are talking about is professional sports modern day slavery, and Jerrian and I both agree that when it comes to the salary and the income and all that stuff, a lot of this is about accountability and how you manage the whole process for your negotiations and all of that stuff. Like you were talking about the difference between the NBA and how well they hold out during their negotiation time versus the NFL. And Randy, you had a point. Go ahead.
Basically, you were saying that it should be accountability, and I was saying that you also have to look that these young men and women are early in their lives and how many people are financially stable at that point in time. And so my counteraction to you was saying I looked up the lottery winners. So like 70% of lottery winners go broke within the first 5 years after getting their money. And they range from the age of 18 to 80 or whatever you want to call it. Are they? Where's the accountability for them? So we're gonna put all the accountability on these young men and women.
So here's the thing: as I said, to whom much is given, much is required. If I give you $1 billion, your accountability level has shifted. Now, and this is a deeper conversation that may not be great for sports talk radio, but wealth is a mindset. Period. And so if the poor shall always be with us. And I like how Gordon Gekko said it, a fool and his money are lucky enough to get together in the first place. So I'm not calling anybody a fool, but when you do foolish things with the money that you've been blessed with, there is no pity for you. I can have a little empathy and all that kind of stuff, but at some point in time, you have to be responsible as an athlete. Here's the thing. This is not a new argument. This is not a new discussion. This is an old discussion, and there have been generations of athletes now that have come back into the community and said, hey, listen, guys, you want to make sure that you do X, Y, and Z with your money. So it's not like these athletes haven't heard this before. This is not like this is some new topic or new discussion. They just haven't made the decision to do anything differently because it's so provocative for them to stunt and to flash and to show their wealth to the world instead of putting their money away. Like those guys who've been, like, you look at LeBron and how he's approached his wealth. We don't know. I don't even know if the man got a gold chain. You know what I mean?
We got a caller.
We got a caller on the line. Go ahead, caller.
I believe you just said all the things I was going to say. Were you talking about how they have financial advisors and stuff like that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Some do.
Yeah.
Some
so
do.
like you said, they're groomed all through high school and college, to be prepared for all this stuff. And you're right, they're kids.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
Yeah, not necessarily.
They're not. No.
Well, let them finish his statement. Go ahead. Go ahead, caller.
Sorry, I didn't know what you're saying earlier. Not to. I'm just saying they have people there to lead them and guide them in the right direction. Like you said, at that point, it's a choice for them. People hitting the lottery, these are like 35-year-old people who never had anything. They just get handed millions of dollars, and that's see you later. Totally different, I think.
I think, in college there are some programs that prepare these guys for professional careers. Once they get there, there's rookie symposiums that are in place, and there's all kind of financial people out there. We actually partner with this group called Plant to a T. They're a nonprofit organization that reaches out to athletes at a younger age and starts to teach them about financial literacy and compound interest and money and all those different types of things. So there are resources out there. We just got to make them better known for those athletes.
And the thinking is, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. You the guest. Your name's Josh, right? Okay.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, because of our school systems, I got out of high school and don't even know what a mortgage is or exactly what it is.
Yes, it is a problem.
System. And so it's not take. I don't think it's excuses for the kids, but at some point, like the other guy's saying, I also think you gotta, like, everyone has their choices to make. You know what I mean? And that's kind of I don't know.
No, this is good because he opened up. Thanks for calling in, Josh. He just opened up a really, really provocative conversation. I love that word today. I'm gonna ride out on that all episode because why is it that most school systems throughout the country don't teach financial literacy or about wealth creation or how to keep wealth? You know, there may be some people that believe that in order to remain wealthy, you can't let everybody know how to be wealthy because, you know, they believe in that zero-sum game thing. If I lose, that means you gain, where the actual true nature of wealth and abundance is very, very, very different. But at that same token, for our conversation today, we're talking about these athletes that at the bare minimum, a professional athlete that plays for the NFL, how much, Jay? What's minimum wage?
$750.
$750,000 per
year.
I don't have a whole lot of sympathy. I don't. I can empathize with them, but I don't.
You don't because you never done it before. And so,
I never did what?
So you never been a professional athlete. So
okay.
So what I'm trying to tell you,
but I have been entrusted with a lot of money at a young age,
and that's awesome. But what I'm trying to get you to understand is they go from high school to college, where people say they care about them, right? But they actually don't care about them. They just care about keep getting athletes to their program. They don't know that they're going. People think that everybody's LeBron James. The average athlete don't know that they're going to the NBA or the NFL. They know it's a possibility. True. So when they do that, everybody with money comes and try to take money from them. You don't get
That's
that.
True.
You don't get that. They don't know that they got to pay so much money for this suit. They don't know that they got to pay so much money for this jewelry or something. They don't know that. It's nobody that's truly on their side invested in them. Because guess what? Once they graduate, the college coach or whoever was their coaches, they're going to move on to the next player.
Well, see, things are different now. Things are changing too, I believe, because of how these young athletes that are coming out of high school and going into college, in their first year, they already got NIL deals. Some kids, before they even get to college, have NIL deals. So with that, the discussion of money is more prevalent, I believe, now. And so because at such a young age, you're talking about money, you're talking about, you know, sponsorships, endorsements, and all that kind of stuff. Some money kind of education has to come into play at some point.
And here's the thing. The reality, again, when you talk about the accountability perspective, there are resources out there. There are all kind of nonprofit organizations. Again, you know, we work with a group called Plan to a T that actually educates these athletes, and it's specifically for athletes on how to manage their money. So the accountability falls back on you as an individual that says, okay, this is what I'm embarking upon. Let me reach out to all the resources and even find somebody to mentor me to take me down that road so I know exactly what to do. Anytime you embark upon anything, you should do research. You should find you a mentor. You should find somebody who's going to be able to lessen that learning curve for you. And again, that comes back to you having accountability. And in the discussion, like you can't, you know, we all make mistakes and we mess up and we learn from them. And again,
absolutely.
We have empathy for those guys who blow through millions and millions of dollars. When you watch that ESPN documentary, Broke, 65% of NFL players within 3 years of retiring go broke. You know, and again, it's not like we're sitting here saying you fool and, you know, pointing the finger at them. You know, hopefully, you know, they learned and they were able to bounce back and, you know, live off their name, image, and likeness or what have you. But it's one of those things that at the end of the day, it comes down to a personal decision. At the end of the day, it comes down to a personal decision to play sports because you're not being forced to do it. At the end of the day, it comes down to a personal decision to manage your money the best way that you possibly can, understanding that this isn't going to last forever. Right. Understanding that the average player does only play 2 years, or I can mess around and get hurt and not play another down. You know, these guys come out of school with no debt, walking into a situation where you're making $750,000. Even if you play 1 year, You came out of college. If you left college early, most schools, when you go into school, like they guarantee you that you can come back and get your diploma. So you have the opportunity to get a free education, walk out of there with a diploma, and at least $750,000 as a 20
without an NIL deal.
Without an NIL deal. So if you telling me
Everybody not getting an NIL deal.
Well, yeah. So X out the NIL deal, right? So you get your you got your diploma, you got $750,000. You get hurt, you can't play the rest of your life. I still say that's a great start on life.
It's still a trap. It's still a trap because they're not letting you. A lot of places are not even letting you get diplomas that mean anything. Most athletes.
It's no letting
you. Listen, I don't care nothing about that.
No, okay, but
yeah, we got to call her, Rob.
Okay.
Well, give us a second. Give us like 5 minutes. Okay, 2.
All right. So I agree with what you said, man. Everything you said, that's great. I just don't think we hold the accountability to the things you have to do in college to get there. Like, it's so much stuff you got to do. To me, I agree with everything you said, but you got to have a team around you. If you don't have the right team around you, a lot of college players don't have time to do the stuff you're talking about. They don't. Especially if they trying to play for a championship, trying to win every game. They don't have time to call this agent and call that agent. So me and my wife,
during the off season, they do.
Is it the off season in college football?
Yeah.
No.
So
we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
All right, but
cool. We got a call on the line?
Yes. Hello?
Yes.
Yes, sir. I'll be real quick. Listen, the owners that's in any sports, those are wealthy people. They've been wealthy for a long time. They know how to manage money. These guys, these young players that they're giving money to, they've never had money. They don't know how to manage money. And if they did, you wouldn't see them buying the things that they was buying. They invested in money. And I don't care about how many programs and things that you put them in. Learning how to manage wealth comes with time. Lots of time.
Preach.
Okay, so you can't just do it overnight. I don't care what kind of seminars and classes you put them in, and they're all not doing it. But if you notice some of the guys that don't spend their money, go look at their family. I bet you they come from money. I bet you their family knows how to manage money and teaches them. Okay, y'all have a good weekend. It's a good topic though.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. He just came in and dropped the mic. But no, I don't care about that.
Preach,
it's about accountability.
Yeah,
I don't care none about that when you talk about, especially the fact that if I sit here and I tell you that the stove is hot, I bring in speakers that bring and show you the burn marks from putting their whole behinds on a stove and it burned them. And you still go after I've trained you, taught you, brought in speakers. You saw examples. They got documentaries on ESPN called Broke. And you mean to tell me you going to give me an excuse to say, well, I didn't know nothing, but I just set my whole butt on the stove. I set it on the stove.
Well, burn, baby, burn.
70% of people do it. So let's go.
Well, guess what?
Let all their ass burn.
Let them burn. I ain't got time for it.
We got one more caller on the line.
We got one more caller. We only got a few minutes left, but go ahead. Let's run it.
Hello?
Hello. Hey, Jerrian. It's Radica. How are you?
Good, Radica. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. I was listening to this topic, and it's so funny because my kids and I were talking about this same topic just yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see. We have had won't call any name, a family member that experienced that and just didn't listen. No matter how much help you gave them, they just did what they wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's sad, but people have to learn the hard way. And we don't want to see them fail in that respect.
No.
But we just got to keep on doing what you guys doing, and those of us who are coaches, we just have to keep on encouraging them and trying to teach them the way. But I was calling to talk to you guys a little bit about netball. I'm heading out to South Africa next week to go to the World Cup.
Well, hey, listen, Radica, give it to us in 15 seconds because we're about to get out of here.
Oh, well, all right. Well, actually, just check out my podcast on Spotify, and I'll be talking about netball. I'll be doing a few clips from World Cup and just interviewing the different teams that are actually participating while we're over there.
Awesome. And what's your podcast?
It's Netball Talk with Radical Right.
Netball Talks with Radical Right. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Radical.
Listen, guys, man, this was a good conversation. I hope everybody enjoyed today's talk. It was a good one. It was a tough one. But listen, you've been listening to The Amateur's Edge on 1010XL, 92.5 FM. We will see you next time.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
It's one of golf's majors for a reason.
Control has been
the Open Challenge.